at Galena Park ISD Stadium on the east side of metropolitan Houston, and that means we've got a big matchup for you tonight in the Houston area. The North Shore Mustangs taking on the Port Arthur Memorial Titans. District 21 5A matchup that has a lot riding on it tonight. These two teams are at the top of the district, and we welcome you in to the broadcast. I'm Lonnie King, and alongside Kim Moore tonight, we're all ready to bring you this one tonight. And Ken, this is going to be a great matchup. We're going to see a couple of teams that are driven primarily by their quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about North Shore. You talk about the conductor of the orchestra, Micah Thompson. He will lead this offensive attack, an attack that's put up 56 points per game, nearly 500 yards of total offense each and every game so far here in 2012.
And Port Arthur Memorial has a similar leadership quality from their quarterback, Ricky Fisk, under Terrence Singleton last year. He was kind of the understudy and is picked up right where that graduating senior left off last year.
Yeah, Fisk has amounted for 20 touchdowns so far here in the early season, 12 on the ground, 8 through the air. So he has been a dynamic force for Port Arthur Memorial, and he's going to try to continue that here this evening.
Now, LaPorte will probably have something to say about how District 21 5A goes, and we will see them next week. But these two teams will definitely be in the mix and definitely have a district championship focus in their plans this year. And this one tonight, Ken, may come down to which defense can make a stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Last season it was a defensive battle. Port Arthur won that one 14-7. We may have that same type of defensive struggle here tonight. Both teams giving up under 20 points per game, so it's going to be two dynamic offenses against two stingy defenses here this evening.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. We had a chance to talk to both the coaches earlier this week. Stopped by to visit with David Amon of North Shore and Kenny Harrison of Port Arthur Memorial. Let's let you hear what these two coaches think about tonight's matchup. We've got a huge District 21 5A matchup this week on LSN Football Friday as the North Shore Mustangs, #1 in the LSN Examiner.com Houston 5A football top 20, take on the #5 ranked Port Arthur Memorial Titans. Both teams come into the game unbeaten, and both are driven this season by strong play at the quarterback position. Ricky Fisk has steered the Titans to a 6-0 start for head coach Kenny Harrison.
Definitely a leader on and off the field. He was the backup quarterback a year ago to the first-team All-State quarterback in Terrence Singleton. So we got an opportunity to see how Terrence managed football games and how he dealt with adversity. And Ricky's embraced the position this year, and we're off to a great start because of Ricky.
Meanwhile, North Shore veteran head coach David Amon says his senior quarterback Micah Thomas is the big reason his team is 5-0 to start the season.
I think the quarterback. It starts with the quarterback position and it extends from there. You know, it needs to get the ball to the right people. So much of our offense is dependent upon reads, and that's the quarterback position.
Port Arthur Memorial has won 2 of the last 3 meetings between these two teams in low-scoring affairs, but Coach Harrison knows that this high-scoring North Shore squad may be tougher to shut down.
I tell you what, that's a tough task. North Shore is a quality football team. Coach Amon does a great job over there. We're going to work hard and come out and play hard. We understand what we're up against, a very quality football team, but it's just an honor to be able to be in a district with such quality football teams as North Shore and some of the other teams that's in this district.
Both teams are focused on the matchup. Both know the importance of the game, but neither coach is ready to concede a district title if they come out on the short end of the scoreboard this week.
Tough teams from top to bottom. I think this district was picked as one of the toughest districts in the state of Texas. So this is just another district ball game. Hopefully we'll be 3-0. But we understand there's still some tough teams in this district that's left.
Coach Amon at North Shore agrees.
It's an early game, but it's a big game. It's a huge game for both of us. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the team that wins district, but they will be in that front seat for sure.
Still, the North Shore coach adds that his team remembers last season's 14-7 loss in Port Arthur and are using that game as a little extra motivation for this game.
Oh, it's everything. We don't like losing, and the situations that happened, 3 touchdowns called back in the first half, nothing score, losing a quarterback to a broken thumb that we didn't know he was hurt. Second half scoring, and we may score, so it's 14-7 the loss. No, it's a big motivation.
Should be a lot of fun, and we'll see how it shakes out coming up on LSN Football Friday. And the opening kickoff has us underway here at Galena Park ISD Stadium, and on the return out across the 30 to about the 34-yard line for the Titans of Port Arthur Memorial. C.J. Levine, a sophomore, returns it. And the Titans will send their offense out onto the field to get things going here. Quarterback Ricky Fisk will lead them out. 3 wide receivers set up wide to the right side of the formation, single to the right, throw on the first down, and it's behind the intended receiver. That was John Leday, his outside receiver, one of the twins on this team, the brothers who are seniors. John Leday on one outside receiver spot, and Brandon Leday, his brother, number 2, on the opposite side.
Battle of unbeatens out here in 21-5A tonight in this showdown.
Fake the handoff to Shaq Angel, and on the keeper, Fisk will take it to the left side, and he will get it out across the 35 to about the 36. So an incomplete pass and a 2-yard gain brings up a 3rd down and long here on the first series.
And you talk about quarterback Ricky Fisk on the season, 20 touchdowns, 12 on the ground, 8 through the air.
Fisk in the shotgun, wants to throw, lets the pressure come. Throws a little middle screen, and he has Roderick Rucker wide open, still on his feet inside the 40, and dropped at the 33-yard line, and that'll be a big first down pickup.
Well, Rucker is one of the big receivers on this team. On the season, over 300 yards receiving, averages 13 yards. You see him on the middle screen, take it right up the gut, deep inside North Shore territory. 1st and 10 on the opening drive of the ball game.
First down of the ball game. Fisk wants to throw again across the middle, has a man and can't hold on. Intended for, that is number 5 coming across the middle, Albert Jacobs, and he could not hang on from his slot receiver position.
Yeah, you see Fisk with all the time in the world, a perfect pocket, a good throw across the middle, good defensive hit in the secondary to separate the receiver from the football.
2nd down and 10 at the 33-yard line. Fisk on the zone read, keeps it, and he's going to be bottled up in the backfield, dropped for a loss back at the 37-yard line. And in on the stop that time, Christian Jacobs got over to make the hit. So now another big 3rd and long situation here. They converted the first time they faced that on this initial drive of the ball game. And they need to get to the 23. Fisk gets a pass away. It's completed to Leday, but he is dropped immediately. Good coverage out on the flats.
Yeah, low throw that time by Fisk. Didn't allow his receiver to catch it in stride and turn upfield. So now a 3rd and long back at the 37-yard line, and it's going to be a punting situation for the Titans on their opening drive. They go up against a North Shore defense that has been very stingy this season, only giving up 14 points per ball game.
Taylor Labrie will drop back in pump formation. He stands at his own 48-yard line near hash mark. Low snap to him. He bobbles it. Now under pressure. Going to try and get it off, and he will. Good job to get it away on the rugby-style kick, and it'll roll, and this is going to wind up being a great punt for Port Arthur Memorial, as it will roll dead at the 3-yard line, and that is where North Shore will set up shop.
Well, almost a disaster, turns into a 34-yard punt, but there definitely could have been a penalty because the entire line was downfield. So, I mean, the officials blew that one completely. It should have been illegal men downfield. As we look at the North Shore offense, they're led by the conductor of this orchestra, Micah Thompson, the quarterback. In the backfield, he'll have Pendleton, Hunter, and on the outside, he'll have Gillis. Along with the rest of his receiving core, we'll get those after this first play from scrimmage.
1st and 10. North Shore into this game averaging 56 points per contest, coming off a 59-point performance last week. 280 points in 5 games. Actually had a bye week last week. Their last game was 2 weeks ago. 59-7 win over Channelview. Here's Tristan Houston in the backfield. Turns the corner, gets out across the 20, last time we were here against Cinco Ranch, we saw him take the same sort of play for a touchdown.
Yeah, 18 yards on the pickup this time, but the jet sweep going from left to right for Houston. And as you mentioned against Cinco, it was the exact same play. He's lucky to get out of the end zone, but that great burst of speed, Houston able to take it upfield. He's the leading ground gainer for North Shore so far this season, over 400 yards on the ground.
Pickup of 18 on that carry, 1st and 10 from the 21 now. They will send Herbert Hunter in motion. Fake the handoff to Pendleton across the middle, a wide open receiver. It's caught and inside the 50 and down at the 46-yard line. On the catch is Jacoby Russell, 6'5" senior.
Well, you'll see again him come out of the slot, uncovered across the middle, blown coverage for the Titans in the secondary. 33 yards on the pass play, but it may be coming back.
And it looks like it will, as there was a flag on the play, and everybody's heading back up the field. An eligible receiver downfield is the call, and so
let's see if we can get that North Shore offense back up for you, as we'll look at the big guys across the front for North Shore. From left to right, it'll be Najee Turan, Chris Jackson at left guard, Tyler Moore the center, Jonathan Green at right guard, Trevon Tate the right tackle on the outside, Derek Gills, Kevion Leonard in the backfield, Herbert Hunter, Jared Pendleton. The H-back is Tristan Houston, and the quarterback Micah Thompson.
From the 16-yard line on 1st and 15, here's a jet sweep to the opposite side. It won't go anywhere, and there's another flag going to come in.
Yeah, I think there were too many men on the line of scrimmage. Both receivers over here to the North Shore left side of the offense were on the line. Well, no, they called offsides, though.
So give the Mustangs the 5 yards back that they just gave away. And so it'll be 1st and 10 again. And it's like these last two plays never occurred. Just over 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. Glad you're along for the ride tonight, wherever you are.
As we take a look at the game time temperatures, 80 degrees here at game time. Winds out of the southeast at about 10 miles per hour. It will be at the back of North Shore here in the first period.
Kevin De Leon takes the fake, and Thomas on the keeper carries it up the numbers and out across the 35 to the 36, 37-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down.
Yeah, Thomas on the zone read right up the gut behind his fullback, and he'll pick up 16 yards on the carry. First down, North Shore.
So they've moved the chains now twice on this possession. Started at their own 3-yard line, out to the 37 right now. And Thomas looks over the defense as he sets up in the shotgun. Pendleton off his left shoulder, Hunter in motion, fake the handoff. He wants to throw across the middle and almost picked off. Overthrew his intended receiver, and that was Russell again coming across the middle.
Yeah, good coverage that time downfield. Almost picked off that time in the secondary. Lucky for Thomas, the ball was dropped. He'll live to play another down.
Jalen Barnes, the cornerback, got a hand on it but could not come up with it. And so it'll set up a 2nd and 10 from the 37. Motion from Hunter. Now he goes back the other way. Quarterback delay. He will take it up the middle. Thomas still on his feet across midfield and gets all the way down to the 43-yard line, and that will be another first down.
Another 20-yard burst by Thomas. 3 runs so far here in the first drive of this ball game. 3 big gainers for North Shore on the ground. That third first down.
Thomas this year has been a powerful weapon on offense. He will get most of his yardage with his legs. Lines up in the pistol formation. Pendleton in behind him. He'll fake the handoff to him again on the zone read. He will keep it. Started to his right, tried to find a hole back up the middle. That time, good defense by Port Arthur Memorial holds him to no gain.
And let's take a look at this Titan defense. The secondary, Jalen Barnes, James Jenkins, the cornerback, Devin Cockrell, the middle linebacker, Darius Hampton, Dante Levette, and up front, Matthews, Romar, Oliver, and Meldrick Matthews, the right defensive end.
Two receivers split out to the right side of the formation. Hunter to the left. Now he goes that way. Play fake and a throw out in the flat. It's caught by Hunter. Keeps his footing. Turns around. Still on his feet. He will wind up with about a 3-yard gain after all that work. And it will bring up third down at about 7.
Well, you'll see good defensive pressure this time coming from the right side up the middle. Was number 11, Matthews, the defensive lineman, putting the heat on Thomas, forcing him to go underneath. Short gain, third down, 7.
From the 39-yard line, need to get to just inside the 33. Tristan Houston on the jet sweep. Fake it to him. Thomas on the keeper. Big hole up the middle, and he'll have the first down.
Boy, guys, down here on the field, the wind is really, really gusting hard. So I'm really surprised that PA Memorial is kind of taken to the aerial attack offensively, that is. And if I were them, I would really consider going back to the ground game, just like North Shore is right now. It is really gusting fast.
Another 15-yard rip by Thomas on the option sweep, and we're going to have a timeout on the field. I think the Titans want to discuss what's going on as they are getting gushed here early on. And this showdown at Galena Park ISD, scoreless here in the first.
How about an ale? Bigger. No, bigger still. Ah, it's good to be king. This fall, experience king-size dining, shopping, merriment, and more at the Texas Renaissance Festival. Discount tickets are on sale now at Randall's, Walgreens, Wood Forest National Bank, and online at TexRenFest.com. The Texas Renaissance Festival. Choose your own adventure.
Well, the officials decided not to give a timeout there, and so we come back with a play run by North Shore down to the 9-yard line, sets them up first and goal, and that's where they are here with 5:45 and counting in the first quarter of play.
Well, it was the same play you saw before the alleged timeout, another 15-yard run by Thomas right up the middle, so you really didn't miss anything. First and goal, North Shore.
And this time a whistle before the snap, and maybe they did call a timeout this time. We will check it out, but yes, North Shore is charged with their first timeout of the ball game. So it'll give us just a chance with these no-huddle offenses out on the field to take a quick breather and take a look at the numbers for Micah Thomas, the quarterback for North Shore. Talked about the numbers he puts up, and look at his rushing yardage, already 342 yards and 12 touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a dual threat. He really conducts this offense. 12 touchdowns on the season, over 700 yards passing the ball. He's really upped his completion percentage all the way up to 57%, and he's being looked at by a lot of D1 schools, possibly as a defensive back as he moves on to the next level. But right now, he's thinking about getting his team to a district championship.
Yeah, Thomas has interest from – actually, he's got 3 offers in his pocket right now, one from Utah, one from Rice, and one from Colorado.
Yeah, he's a very intelligent kid, 4.0 GPA, so he's handling his business not only on the football field but in the classroom as well.
Brings him back out to the line of scrimmage out of the timeout. 5:31 to go in the first quarter. And again, a whistle, and generally these pre-snap penalties are going to back up the offense. And it is a false start on North Shore, and so Send them back to the 14-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from that spot.
Yeah, their second penalty so far tonight. Had a 33-yard pass play wiped out earlier on this drive by a 5-yard penalty.
That has been about the only thing to slow them down here on this first possession of the ball game for their offense. Thomas brings them back on the jet sweep, hands it off to Tristan Houston, turns a corner inside the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, North Shore. Tristan Houston from 14 yards out on the carry takes it in for the first score of the game.
You see the jet sweep again, this time coming from right to left. Thomas gets a good block himself after the handoff. Then it's Houston just using his speed to get to the corner. His 9th touchdown of the season, and North Shore strikes first. They're up 6-0.
Carlos Perez, the kicker, waits on the snap. The ball is down and the kick is good, and so he adds the extra point here with 5:24 to go in the first quarter of play. And our score is North Shore 7, Port Arthur Memorial nothing.
A very impressive opening drive by the Mustangs as they go 97 yards in 9 plays, and Houston takes it in for the score. And now we'll see if this Port Arthur Memorial team, if they can respond. They only gave up 7 points to North Shore last season. They've already given up 7 points here first quarter tonight.
And Jay Darnell, you were talking about the wind a little while ago, and it looks like not only is it a brisk breeze down there, but it's kind of swirling in different directions tonight.
And it is swirling, very much so. As you see the flags swaying from side to side in the south end zone.
Here comes the kickoff, and it will come down again to Levine. He will take it back up the hash mark, slips through a wave of tacklers, stays on his feet across the 25, out to the 29-yard line, and that's where Memorial will set up shop.
Talk about a Titan offense led by quarterback Ricky Fisk. His backfield mates, wide receivers, Leday, Ruckers, the big guy in the backfield, Martin on the other side, Jacobs and Leday. Up front, Vaughn, Antoine, Wynn is the center, Fontenot and Wright hit the right side of that offensive line.
That O-line is young, but they've done a great job opening up holes. Here's the freshman, Cameron Martin, gets his first carry of the night, and he will be dropped in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. That's right, folks. He is a 9th grade student at Port Arthur Memorial. Cameron Martin is trying to get used to high school life, and he's starting on the football team.
Yeah, just a little zone read. Had his first action a couple of weeks ago, and now he's a steadying force in that backfield. As more and more across the Houston area, you see a lot of these talented freshmen and sophomores getting their chance early at varsity level.
Fisk on the run, rolling out, has to throw the ball away, and he does get it away, incomplete. Good job to avoid the sack there, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 12.
And we'll take a look at this North Shore Mustang defensive front after this play. You see the pressure is a jailbreak right up the middle, forcing Fisk to his right. He does the smart thing, throws it away. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Stops the clock, 4:33 and counting, and Fisk brings him back to the line of scrimmage. Drops to throw. Here's the middle screen set up again. He throws it underneath to Jacobs, and he makes the catch. Will get out across the 35 to the 36. Not enough for a first down, though, and it'll bring up 4th and about 3.
Yeah, good defensive play by Ronzel Jones as he's one of the leaders of that defense. The man in the middle, Zach Whitley, the junior, he's the stalwart. Up front, you have Long, Freeman, Legger, and Vaughn. In the secondary, Russell, Wilkes, Broden, and Ernest Thomas. Looks like we have a shaken up Titan back at the 15-yard line as we await this. I believe it's going to be Third down coming up here. So we talk about these two ball clubs, both undefeated on the season. Ricky Fisk, the leader for the Titans, 20 touchdowns on the season, 614 yards on the ground, 941 through the air, completing nearly 60% of his passes. So two of the better quarterbacks that you'll see down here in the greater Houston area going head-to-head here tonight at Galena Park ISD.
Hey, Lonnie, sorry about earlier. It looks like it's working now. Yeah, going back to the wind, it is a big factor, and I'm really surprised that PA Memorial is still attacking them through the air, but now I go back and think about it, it's not really easy to attack North Shore on the ground, so maybe that is a smart thing, especially when you have athletes like that all over the field. Which Leday caught it?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Leday's on first.
Jack Angel walking off the field here on a fourth down play coming up. Labrie is back out there to punt the ball away. He had to improvise the first time he came out there. Got a kick away of 34 yards, though, and basically set up North Shore with a long field that they managed to navigate. Here's a kick away, a spiraling kick. Going to come down to De Leon. He will take it at the 33. Cuts away from a tackler across midfield and into Titans territory at the 41-yard line, and that will be 1st and 10 and great starting field position for North Shore.
26 yards on the return, and this North Shore offense, again, starting off this time in great field position. Their first drive started at their own 3-yard line. They promptly took it 97 yards. This time they only have half the field to work with as they start at the Titan 41.
This might be a big series here for the Titans defense, trying to keep this one close. Still a lot of time to go here, 4 minutes and a couple of seconds to go in the first quarter. Two-back set this time with Thomas in the backfield. And here comes Pendleton on the sweep motion. He takes a handoff, turns back the opposite way, and he will be stacked up. The Titans were ready for that on defense as big number 91, Walter Oliver, got in there to make the hit with some help from his friends.
And this is a Titan defense that's only given up 235 yards per game and only given up 18 points per ball game. And you look at their numbers in the first period this season, they've outscored their opponents 68-6 in the first period, so they're not used to being on the other end of the scoreboard.
Back to the line of scrimmage come the Mustangs, clad in their red home uniforms tonight. De Leon shows motion, play fake, here's pressure. Levine's going to get to Thomas. The ball is on the turf. Let's see what they call it. It is a fumble, but it's recovered by one of the big guys up front. Chris Jackson fell on the football.
That's going to be a huge loss all the way back on the other side of midfield. And you see him just coming untouched was number 14, C.J. Levine, and the sophomore. And there was just a blown assignment on the offensive front of the Mustangs. So now they're looking at 3rd down and 23 all the way back at their own 46-yard line.
The Titans defense trying to urge their fans across the way, and a good crowd has traveled over from Port Arthur tonight to support their team here in this big District 21 5A matchup.
Officials will start the play clock now as Michael Thompson tries to pull a rabbit out of his hat on 3rd and 23.
Hunter shows motion, now goes back the other way. Tries to set up a screen, does Thomas, and he was trying to find Pendleton out of the backfield, but it was overthrown and incomplete. And the Titans defense does step up on that series.
Yeah, that was a big series as you mentioned, and as you look at the importance of this ball game here tonight out in 21-5A, Memorial and North Shore both undefeated along with LaPorte. Deer Park right there at 1-1 as well. So this is a big ball game as we hit the middle portion of the season.
The board is off tonight, so they are interested observers here to see who will win this one. And a great punt and good coverage by North Shore, and they're going to down it at the 1.
Well, but you know the guy that touched the football was actually in the end zone when he touched that ball. That should be a touchback. If we get the replay, we'll take a look at it. It'll go down.
In high school, I believe the rule is wherever the ball is.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
I stand corrected. As you mentioned, a tremendous punt. As you saw, the feet of the defender was in the end zone, but as Jay mentioned, the ball was still in the field of play. So marked down at the 1 yard line, the Titans will have their backs to their own goalpost. 52 yards on that punt.
Fisk 5 yards deep in his own end zone, wants to throw him first down, has John Leday across the middle. It's complete, slips by a tackler, still running laterally before he's wrapped up at about the 6. That's going to be a 5-yard pickup, bring up 2nd down and 5.
Now they have a little bit of breathing room to work with. This Fisk definitely don't want to make any mistakes down deep in your own end. Fisk on the season, 8 touchdown passes. He does have 3 interceptions.
Looks over the defensive set. Has 3 receivers out to the right side of the formation, and now he's going to ask for a timeout. And with that timeout, we'll take a break as well. 7-0 our score. North Shore leads on an LSN Football Friday.
Won't you be good to yourself? And don't you feel like coming home? It'll be like coming home.
Some rooms feel like a fishbowl. But in our Roomy Suites, you can spread out and live a little. With breakfast, dinner, and drinks included, you'll feel right at home.
A little under a minute and a half to go in the first quarter here at Galena Park ISD Stadium on a breezy Friday night in the Houston area. Weather has warmed back up a little bit. Fisk on 2nd and 5, drops back to pass, now tucks it under and runs, has a lane outside the 15, 20, 25, and he's out of bounds right at the 25-yard line with a first down.
Well, that's the dual threat action of Ricky Fisk, as he'll pick up 18 yards on the scramble in the end zone. Good coverage downfield by the Mustang secondary, but Fisk brings it down, saw an opening to the left side. 1st and 10, Titans.
Brings them back to the line again, same formation, single receiver to the left, 3 to the right, handed off up the middle. That is Martin, the freshman, who gets the carry. And he will get out near the 30-yard line. They'll call it the 29. And I believe we got a flag on the field, and we do. See what the call is here.
A lot of laundry on the field here in the first period of this one.
It's going to be called a personal foul. You talk about a lot of laundry, Ken. One thing that stood out to me in looking at the stats on the season for Port Arthur Memorial is that they average over 80 yards of penalty yardage a game. And so they have a lot of yellow flags tossed in the games that they play in.
Yeah, and that's one thing you cannot afford against a top-notch team like North Shore. You can get away with that against some of the lower echelon teams in the area. But Coach Kenny Harrison not at all pleased with the penalties here early on, as he's having a discussion now on the far sideline.
Seems to be pleading his case about something, and we're not certain what the personal foul was called for.
And we're also not sure if it's a post-possession or looks like it's going to be maybe a post-possession play, which will cost them a loss of down as well.
That's exactly what it does. So after the play was dead and before the second down play, they step off 15 yards, and it's, in effect, after a 5-yard gain, going to be a 10-yard loss. So back at the 15-yard line, second down, we'll call it 20 to go. Fisk drops to throw, has time, flushed out, on the run, has a lane across the 20, 25, out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Just like that, he gets 13 yards right back.
Yeah, he gets most of the penalty yardage back. Another scramble by Fisk. And these are undesigned runs, if you will. When you compare it to Micah Thomas, his runs are generally designed off the option read, where Fisk will pick up a lot of his yardage on the ground on his own.
3rd down and 7, a big play for the Port Arthur Memorial offense here as North Shore has a 7-0 lead as we wind down to the last 40 seconds of the first quarter. Trying to hit Rucker across the middle and underthrew him a little bit. Looked like he had to hold up to try and make that catch and allowed the defender to catch up.
Well, Fisk not able to get a lot on the throw as North Shore came with a stunt that time as they brought the house, about 5 or 6 defenders against the quarterback to try to flush him, made him rush his throw, and the Titans will have to punt once again. This will be their 3rd possession, their 3rd punt.
LeBray back out there. He is a junior. Done a good job on his first 2 kicks tonight. 1 man deep is Kevion De Leon, and he will wait on the kick, and a low line drive, wobbly spiraling kick is going to hit at the 50 and roll sideways out of bounds at the 49. And this will wind up being good field position for North Shore on their 3rd possession.
Yeah, not a good punt that time into the wind, only 23 yards as it rolls out of bounds just at midfield. So officially 22 yards on the kick. And do we have another penalty on the field? Another discussion on the Titan sideline. So Coach Harrison not exactly a happy camper here early on in this ball game.
Well, it looks like the signal is a hold, and Coach Harrison does, I would say he's asking for an explanation, but he doesn't look like he's asking any questions. He's making a statement right now. And we'll see what the call is going to be.
As we mentioned earlier, while we wait on the call, here we go. Holding against the Mustangs. So that'll probably back them up 10 yards from the end of the punt. So this drive will start at their own 40-yard line. And this is an offense that has really dominated their opponents so far this season, averaging 56 yards per game, just dismantling the competition. But they only scored 7 last season against this Titan defense. So kind of an anomaly of what we might expect here tonight.
Well, they've already matched that number here in the first quarter. De Leon goes in motion. Fake the jet sweep to him, and Thomas on the keeper takes it out. Gets back to the line of scrimmage at the 40. He stopped there, though. Good defensive play by the front 4 of that Port Arthur Memorial defense.
Yeah, C.J. Levine, that right defensive end, the sophomore, again, making a good play. He's had a pretty good first quarter, number 14.
And that'll bring it into the first quarter of play. 12 minutes in the books here at Galena Park ISD Stadium in North Shore. The home team has a 7-0 lead on an LSN Football Friday.
You know the first thing people say after trying Raising Cane's premium, fresh, never-ever frozen chicken fingers? Served with extra long crinkle-cut fries, made fresh daily cane sauce, and grilled Texas toast? They say, "Where have you been all my life?" To which our chicken fingers don't reply because, well, chicken fingers can't talk. Raising Cane's. One love.
About set for the second quarter here at Galena Park ISD Stadium. LSM Football Friday is a production of the Legacy Sports Network. We're glad you joined us to watch our broadcast of North Shore and Port Arthur Memorial. You can check out all your favorite teams at www.legacysportsnetwork.com. First and 10, or check it, second down and 10 to start the second quarter for the North Shore Mustangs. Thomas pressured from behind, and Levine gets there and knocks him down. And he'll be dropped back at the 38-yard line on the sack.
Well, Coach Amon is going to have to put out an APB to find that guy right there at the top of the screen. Levine, again, he comes through untouched on the outside. The North Shore offensive line is going to have to slide their protection over to pick up Levine. He's just causing havoc in that Mustang backfield right now.
It's third down, and we will call it 21 to go. And North Shore, since their opening possession, has seen a couple of long third down plays. Thomas, pressure up the middle, throws and intended for Jacoby Russell coming across the middle, overthrew him. And that'll bring up fourth down, so another 3 and out.
A good read on the screen by defensive lineman Matthew Romar, number 3, as he dropped back, forced Thomas to put more arc on that pass than he originally wanted to, causing it to fall incomplete. So the Mustangs with a 3 and out.
Coming on to kick the ball away for North Shore as a flag comes in. The ball is punted this time by Mickey Torres. Check it, Mickey Tamez. And the ball will roll dead.
It's a 50-yard punt, but there is a penalty flag back at the Titan or Mustang 25-yard line. So a lot of infractions here.
It's like an illegal formation called on North Shore, and Port Arthur Memorial will say, let's do this all over again, and so they'll send the special teams back out onto the field.
And especially you get a good 50-yard punt and roll into the wind, and unfortunately for North Shore, they'll have to try it one more time.
Thomas lines up again, this time back at his own 15-yard line. No pressure, and another low line drive kick gets a North Shore roll, but it pops up right into Jacob's hands, and he will take it back across the 40-yard line and slides to the 41, and that is where Memorial will set up shop on this possession.
43 yards on the punt, 8 yards on the return, so the Titans will end up with a net of about 11 yards on that penalty as it'll come out across the 41-yard line, and that's where Ricky Fisk and company will set up shop against this Mustang defense. Led in the middle by Zach Whitley, number 45, the junior.
They've had some trouble getting going tonight, and Fisk will be pressured and flushed out of the pocket. He's on the run, has a little bit of an opening, and gets out across the 45 to the 48. Turned to nothing into about a 7-yard gain on first down, and it'll be 2nd and 3.
Now, one thing that happens when your quarterback scrambles a lot, it really can demoralize your receivers who are running these routes downfield and they're not getting the football. So you want to make sure that you feed these guys for running these routes if they're getting open. North Shore with tight man-to-man coverage on this play, second down play.
Two-back set this time, handed off to the back on the left side, and for the Titans, that is Mark Taylor, a 5'10 junior who gets his first carry of the night. Our check at that is not 25, that's 28, and that carry belongs to Darius Lamora.
Mayfield will check out of the ball game as they'll go with a 4-receiver look, single tailback. Mustangs may come with a corner blitz. Here they come.
And the handoff, quick hitter to Cameron Martin. He is going to be tripped up, and they did get good penetration that time for the Mustangs, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, North Shore showed their hand early at the top of the screen. You see coming in untouched was number 40, Runzel Jones. Also his buddy Kwame Vaughn there to make the play as well. Fisk did not read the blitz, and the Titans get dropped for a 2-yard loss, and now they're staring a 4th and 3 in the face, and they have the punt unit on once again.
Coach Harrison says, let's check out a different punter this time. And the kick is away, and it is going to be taken back there at the 20-yard line and wrapped up fairly quickly on the return that time for the Mustangs is number 28. And that is Darius Mouton. So he will have the punt return. The kicker that time for Port Arthur Memorial was Ricardo Estupinan. The kicker normally does the extra point and field goal attempts, and he came out and punted that time.
He got low line drive, but it netted 32 yards. 0 on the return. Good coverage that time by the Titan special team unit. As Port Arthur Memorial hanging in, trailing 7-zip, 8.5 minutes to go, second period.
And it has been dominated by the defenses with the exception of the first North Shore possession. And here is another example as getting out to wrap up Micah Thomas on the edge. There is the safety, James Jenkins, and he will drop him for a 2-yard loss.
A good lateral pursuit that time by the Titan defense as they just followed Thomas down the line of scrimmage, wouldn't let him get to the edge, and they drop him for a 2-yard loss, or actually a 1-yard loss. Call it 1.5.
Clock rolls down to the 7:50 mark here in the first half, making our way toward halftime in a 7-0 game. Thomas sends Hunter in motion. Play fake to him, wants to swing a pass out, has Pendleton out in the flat, makes the catch, turns around, keeps his footing, and he will be close to the sticks out around the 30-yard line. And that should be enough for the first down as he got to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was a tremendous grab by Pendleton out of the backfield. The pass behind him as he has to turn around, makes a good grab, gets upfield, and he's just at the first down marker. And yes, it is enough for the first down.
So they move the chains the first time since the first possession that North Shore has picked up a first down. 1st and 10 from the 30. Hunter again, motion right to left. Hand it off up the gut. It's Pendleton, and he and Thomas almost could not decide whether they wanted to actually make that exchange or not. Pendleton basically wrestled the ball away from Thomas.
Well, Pendleton on the season, 280 yards on the ground, averages over 7.5 yards a carry. He's been in the end zone 8 times as a rusher. So if you give him some room, he can scoot as well. But this Titan defense is tightened up here in the latter stages of this first half. Now North Shore again facing a 2nd and long.
Call it a yard gain for Pendleton on that last carry, and now we've got a whistle, and David Amon wants a timeout, and we'll take it with him. North Shore with a 7-0 lead. It's an LSM Football Friday night. Glad you're along for the ride.
We welcome you to North Shore Marine. We support a large parts and accessories for Johnson, Evinrude, Yamaha, and Suzuki. And we also have parts for your boat, not only just the motor. So you can come in and get pretty much everything you need and be on your way. So you name it, we got it. We sell Sea Arc aluminum boats, a wide variety we try to keep in stock so we can accommodate just about anybody. We service Johnson, Evinrude, Yamaha, and Suzuki. We have a master technician in our staff, and he's highly accredited. Well, of course, we're a family-oriented business. We try to keep it on that level. We're concerned for the well-being of our customers, come visit us at North Shore Marine.
Second down and 8 out of the timeout. Thomas play fake, wants to throw across the middle, intended for De Leon, who was underneath the coverage that time. But again, a little bit of pressure up front is forcing Thomas to throw these passes high.
Yeah, that's a pass that De Leon has to come down with. However, he's coming on a deep crossing route in front of the safety. He may have heard some footsteps. Football went through his hands. It's going to be third down and long again for the Mustangs. Kenmore Lonnie King here at Galena Park ISD 21-5A showdown. 2 undefeateds, North Shore, Port Arthur Memorial.
Hunter, the H-back, lines up to the right side. Now he goes in motion away from the line of scrimmage. Thomas wants to throw. Pressure comes up the middle. He's flushed out, tripped up, and he will fall down back at the 25 as getting a hand in there to trip him up that time was Meldrick Matthews from his right defensive end spot. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, we talked about in the pregame that despite these being 2 of the highest scoring teams in the district, that this might be a defensive battle here tonight, and so far it's living up to the billing.
Thomas gets the punt away. It's going to come down to John Leday. He reaches up, makes the grab, backpedaling on it, and he tries to regain his momentum, but he's going to be dropped right at the 35-yard line. But that is where the Titans will take over on this possession, and as good as they've been on defense, they have not been able to solve the North Shore defense on offense.
They have not. Only 2 first downs in this ball game for Port Arthur Memorial. As they've had the ball on 4 possessions, they've ended up having to punt all 4 times.
First and 10 from the 35-yard line. Fisk wants to throw, has time. Downfield he goes, intended for Leday, and he can't hang on. Almost came up with a great catch, and check it, that was Rucker, not Leday, but Rucker could not hang on, and it's incomplete.
Well, good protection that time for Fisk. Questionable decision to where he threw the football as he threw it into double coverage, but a great individual effort that time by Rucker, the junior, as he nearly pulled it down.
Brings up second down and 10. Rucker heads back to his slot position on the right side of the formation. 2 receivers to either side this time. And Fisk takes the snap. Pressure comes up the middle, the throw across the middle, and it's incomplete. Rucker this time underneath could not hang on, and you thought De Leon might have heard footsteps a little while ago. I think Rucker might have that time.
Well, Fisk felt some footsteps in the backfield as the linebacker Whitley came through on a delayed blitz untouched, and he drilled Fisk just as he delivered the pass. Thought the official might throw a flag for roughing the passer. It was close, but he held it in his pocket. You look at Rucker on the season, 22 receptions, 301 yards, 4 touchdowns, with a couple of drops here in the second period.
Third down and 10, a big play. And now we've got a flag. Delay of game is going to be called, and so the hill gets a little steeper now as they will back up the Titans 5 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 15 instead of 3rd and 10.
This is a stingy North Shore defense. They've really only been challenged once so far this season. That was against Manville, a game they trailed by 21 points. They came back to win that ball game 56-28. That was in the second week of the season.
Fisk flushed out of the pocket, on the roll, across the 35, out to the 40-yard line. He'll get 10 yards, and now a flag comes in.
Oh, boy.
It was going to be short of the first down, but now North Shore reacts like there was a penalty after the play, and it does appear that it's going to go against the Titans. Thought for a minute it might have been a late hit or something in that pile, but it's going to be a personal foul assessed against Port Arthur Memorial.
Yeah, let's see if we can possibly pick up what happened on the far sideline. It was 7 yards on the scramble as Fisk, again, four-man rush. Whitley coming through untouched. Fisk on the far sideline. He'll get upended near the 40. And, you saw the late block come in at the end there. So that'll back it up to the 25, and that's where the Titans will kick it away.
And Estupinan gets the kick away and gets a Port Arthur Memorial roll, but De Leon picks it up on a hop, and he turns it back up the field across the 30, 35, and out to the 36-yard line. Big, convenient hop for the return man, Kevion De Leon, and it'll set up Port Arthur, or check at North Shore with pretty good field position.
A good job by De Leon to really save his team some field position by retrieving the bouncing ball back around the 25. If he lets that go, it probably bounces well inside the 20, possibly inside the 10. But with the 11-yard return, Mustangs will start 1st and 10 at the 36. They lead it 7-zip, 4:53 to go here, second period.
Set up in the pistol, and now Pendleton will line up off the right shoulder of Thomas. So from the shotgun, he'll take the handoff straight up the gut. Tries to get into the second level, and
it looked like he threw it in reverse.
In his zeal to try and keep the legs turning, he did get backed up a little bit. When the other guy's horsepower is a little bit greater than yours.
Yeah, Pendleton up the middle. He gets to the 48, and then he starts going the other way. Officials will give him forward progress to the 43, so it'll be 2nd down and 3.
From the 42-yard line, let's call it the 43. Thomas in the pistol. Again, a little bit of a mix-up as Pendleton runs into him. Thomas keeps it, and he carries it forward for a couple of yards. North Shore has not looked as smooth offensively tonight as we saw them against Cinco Ranch earlier this season, but I'm sure it is that Port Arthur Memorial defense that's having some effect on that.
Yeah, the Titans have made some good adjustments after that opening drive where we saw Thomas rip off some big yardage on that zone read up the middle.
Here's a handoff to Pendleton. He needed a yard. He got maybe a yard. It looks like he's got enough, stretched it out to get the first down. And the officials are giving it a good long look, and they will move the chains.
Yep. And you'll see the substitutions come in for North Shore as Houston will come back into the ball game along with Justin Green and Howard Scott as they get a little bit more speed on the field for this first down play.
Two receivers out to the right side of the formation. Houston on the jet sweep. Takes a hit, turns it up, and he's still on his feet inside the 45 down to the 39-yard line. And that'll be a big gain and another first down.
A 15-yard hit for Houston. You see him just turn it, splits the defenders in the backfield as he turns it, and he's a shoestring tackle away, coming up with the open field tackle, James Jenkins, but missing the tackle in the backfield, Dante Lovelett.
Lines up, and you see him show motion again, back toward the line of scrimmage. This time they fake it to him, and they set up a backside screen to Pendleton, but he is dumped. There's Jenkins again. He's been around the football a lot tonight and gets a big stick in the backfield for a big 6-7 yard loss.
Yeah, Jenkins, the 5'10", 165-pound senior defensive back, coming up. 2 big stops on this drive. This one will result in a loss. So now a 2nd and long.
I think that ball was tipped, actually, by one of the oncoming rushers. It might have been big number 11, Mel Broderick Matthews, who got a hand on it. One of the Matthews brothers on that D-line. Here's a throw on 2nd down, and it is complete. That is Derek Gillis making his first catch of the night. And he will get it back to the 37-yard line. That'll make it 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, good comeback route that time by Gillis. So it'll be a 3rd and manageable situation now for the Mustangs as we approach the 2-minute mark, 2:04 to go, first half. And a quickly moving first half.
Still 7-0 North Shore. The only score this ball game has been a 14-yard touchdown run by Tristan Houston. Thomas wants to throw. Across the middle, has a receiver, and he cannot hang on. Woo! Gillis was open. Closing was the safety that time.
That was Jalen Barnes who came up with the big hit to separate Gillis from the football. Big time hit, so it'll be another 4th down situation for the Mustangs. Is that Titan defense coming to life? Thomas will stay on the field. We'll see if they'll go for it here.
Looks
4th and 9.
Looks like they will, and now we've got a timeout signaled on the field, and we'll take it with them. 1:58 to go, 7-0 North Shore on an LSN Football Friday.
Thanks for the VIP treatment, Kerry. Thanks for saving me all that money on my car insurance, Robert. That's State Farm's discount double check. We dig through your policy, find any hidden savings. That's funny. Before every home game, I used to do an Ivy double check. Really? Yeah, people drop all kinds of stuff in here. Old cell phone, French horn. Andre Dawson? What year is it?
Let State Farm find your hidden savings with a discount double check.
Caught it! Woo!
Get to a better state. State Farm.
1:58 to go till halftime. Lonnie King, Kim Moore, Jay Darnell, the entire LSN Football Friday crew here with you at Galena Park ISD Stadium. And North Shore trying to keep a late first half drive alive here to see if they can put some points on the board before halftime, leading at 7-0 with 1:58 remaining.
I would probably punt it here. My defense has been playing well. You don't want to give the Titans good field position if you don't make it.
Thomas flushed out of the pocket. The hole opens up the middle, but it closes just as quickly as Mel Broderick Matthews trips him up. He will gain some yardage, but not near enough for a first down, and that'll give the ball back over to Memorial.
Yeah, and again, you give this Titan offense now some life. Good pressure coming from the left side. Just missing the sack that time was Matthews. Thomas able to turn it upfield, but good pursuit by the Memorial defense. Stops him short of the yard to gain. Now the Titan offense will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 33. 1:48 to go. They have 2 timeouts remaining. 1 timeout remaining.
And Fisk lines up in the shotgun, wants to throw on first down. Has time. Now the pocket collapses. He takes off running, has to throw the ball away, and he will get it out of bounds on the run. Good job to avoid the sack that time. Yes. I like Fisk's pocket presence back there, his awareness.
Yep, absolutely. Makes a good decision. Has some time initially. Again, cannot find a receiver open downfield. Does some nice Jamba dance moves in the backfield there before the Zumba, or whatever it is, before throwing it out of bounds.
Don't look at me, man. I wouldn't know.
Neither would I.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Goodness.
Fisk, a little quick hitting screen pass out to his receiver, and that's Rucker. He gets out across the 40, where he is stacked up at the 42-yard line, just shy of the first down, but a nice 9-yard gain.
Yeah, 4-man rush this time, just a quick little hitch route to the right, and Rucker Took a big hit at the 42, as you mentioned. Sets up 3rd down 1.
Swing it out this time to Jacobs. Same
got
play,
room.
opposite side, and he's got a 1st down into North Shore territory. It'll stop the clock while they move the chains with just over a minute to go.
Yeah, quick 12 yards as he was uncovered over here on the left side.
Down,
Jacobs.
Down to the 46, and they're hurrying back to the line of scrimmage. Martin, the freshman, lines up off the right-hand shoulder of Fisk. He wants to throw. Swing it out. Far sideline. Has a man. Rucker makes the catch. Tiptoes the sideline. Out of bounds at the 24.
22 yards on the pass play. Again, another great grab, this time by Rucker. One-on-one coverage, and he just out-jumps the defender for the football, and if he can maintain his balance, that's a touchdown.
It would have been. But as it is, it's 1st and 10 with 48 seconds to go till halftime. At the 24-yard line, marching down the field. Best offensive possession yet tonight for the Titans. Fisk, pressure up the middle, throws down the sideline and overthrows John Leday, and a flag comes in.
They're going to call a PI against Ernest Thomas. He had one-on-one coverage on that far sideline. And the officials say he was just a little too tight.
Watch it again. Looked like pretty good coverage.
Does he get his head turned around? That's the problem.
Yep.
He never turned around to look for the football. You have to turn around and look for the football, young players. That'll get you a penalty flag every time.
And we see it so often. It's an instinct thing that you either do or you don't do. Your coaches, I know it frustrates coaches so many times when because they spend time trying to get their kids to make that a habit. And it either takes a while to become a habit or it's just something you've got naturally. But we see it quite a bit.
Well, some of them never get it, See Kareem Jackson. Actually, he's playing better this year.
It's 1st and goal from the 9 after the penalty is stepped off. In high school, they step the pass interference penalties off from the line of scrimmage. And 1st and goal for Memorial. Here's Fisk to the corner. Rucker almost reeled it in. Pretty good coverage that time over in the corner, and that was Tim Broden.
Yeah, just a little fade pattern this time to the corner of the end zone. As Fisk puts it up where only his receiver could get it, but Rucker could not come down with it. 38 seconds to go. Still one timeout remaining for Port Arthur Memorial, so they could conceivably try a draw play here, a little screen pass, maybe catch this Mustang defense off balance.
And a keeper this time by Fisk tries to take it to the outside, but North Shore was thinking exactly what you were, and they snuff it out. Chris Russell comes up from his defensive back spot to wrap him up at the line of scrimmage.
Well, defensive coordinator John Kay for the Mustangs all over that one. He may have been dialed into our headsets.
They don't want to use the timeout yet, so they hurry back to the line of scrimmage. Now Fisk is pressured, rolls out, throws into the back of the end zone and overthrows Rucker, incomplete. Stops the clock with 6 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th down now, so they'll bring on the field goal unit. And you'll see Fisk again. Had time. Now the pressure comes. He escapes. Throws it too high back of the end zone. But again, he puts it in a safe place where only his receiver would have an opportunity. Saves the opportunity for 3 points.
So Stupinan comes on. He will kick the ball from the 17, so we'll call it a 27-yard attempt, far hash mark. Pressure comes, but the kick is away, and it is good. And the Titans are on the scoreboard with 2 seconds to go till halftime. 7-3. North Shore's lead has been cut down to 4.
Well, a good drive that time by Port Arthur Memorial, but again, it was set up by North Shore going for it on 4th down near midfield. It allowed the Titans to have good field position. They were able to move downfield, get some points on the scoreboard.
So the Titans will have to kick it off here to take us into halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Jay Darnell, who hopes to be joined by David Amon, the head coach of the North Shore Mustangs. As it appears, unless something highly unusual happens here, the North Shore will take a 4-point lead into halftime.
9-play, 57-yard drive for Port Arthur Memorial. As they run it down to the final 2.3 seconds. 27-yard field goal by Ricardo. And it's a 4-point ball game.
He's got it teed up at the 40-yard line, and the wind blows it over, so we'll have to do that all over again as his teammates get set up.
And a pretty breezy night here in southeast or northeast Houston. Winds out of the south at about 10 to 12 miles per hour here in the first half.
And the kick is away, and he drills one high and deep down to the 3-yard line. And it is taken back there across the 15 and out to about the 17 is the return man for North Shore. And that will take us to halftime as Darius Mouton on the return is brought down. Let's check in with Jay Darnell.
Jay's trying to grab one of the coaches down on the near sideline, and I think.
Well, we'll see if we can catch up with Coach Amon later and check in with Jay. But right now, we are at the half. Our score is the North Shore Mustangs 7, Port Arthur Memorial Titans 3 on an LSN Football Friday.
Gulf Coast, Deer Park, Texas continues to prove why the birthplace of Texas is on everyone's mind. Voted best affordable suburb by the Bloomberg Business Week, Deer Park is home to many businesses and continues to grow in population and industry. With its close proximity to the Houston Ship Channel, Deer Park is home to many industrial leaders like Dow and Shell. Voted in the top 10 most affordable places to live by CNN Money, Deer Park lures many new residents year-round. These residents enjoy the comforts of many retail outlets, recreational locations, and historic sites like the Battleship Texas and San Jacinto Monument. And with a recognized school district that boasts award-winning athletic, culinary, and journalism programs, Deer Park continues to gain the attention of people nationwide. Come see what everyone's talking about and make your next visit to Texas a rebirthing experience in the birthplace of Texas. Don't worry, boots and jeans are optional. Work, stay, play, explore. That's Deer Park, Texas. Uniquely you.
Halftime of our game here at Galena Park ISD Stadium, and North Shore has a 7-3 lead over Port Arthur Memorial. A game where we've got teams that average 56 and nearly 40 points per game, Ken Moore, and here we are with the touchdown and a field goal in the first half.
You got defenses that only give up 18 and 14 points respectively on the other side of the ledger. So they always say a good defense will stop a good offense, and that's what we've seen so far here in the first half tonight.
And that's really true, and not surprising so much that we've seen North Shore, because we knew a little bit about them coming in, but this has really been the first big-time test for Port Arthur Memorial, and they have really withstood it except for that one touchdown drive.
Yeah, after that first opening drive by North Shore, in which they went 97 yards for the opening score of the ball game, the Memorial Titans have really shut down that vaunted Mustang offensive attack. And when you look at the numbers here in the first half, almost identical. North Shore 108 total yards of offense. Port Arthur Memorial 107. First downs, North Shore has the advantage there, 9-4. And then they're pretty even on penalties as well. North Shore with 4 penalties for 30 yards. Memorial 3 penalties for 25 yards. Neither team with a turnover in the first half. So outside of the penalties, it's been a pretty clean game. But Port Arthur Memorial hanging in there on the home turf of North Shore.
Guy who had a bird's eye view from the sideline in the first half was our Jay Darnell. Let's check in with Jay real quick before the second half gets underway.
Yeah, guys, I mean, honestly, I'm a little bit surprised. Port Arthur Memorial played unbelievable defense, and I'm a little bit shocked that they were able to do that. I expect North Shore to come out and make a few more big plays offensively and really take control of this game. But you never know. In a tight ball game, anything can happen. PA Memorial just needs to keep it close in the fourth quarter.
Well, we're ready, and Memorial will be kicking it off here to start the second half. Ricardo Estupinan, who had a field goal at the end of the first half, kicks it down to the goal line, and it's taken there out across the 20 and the 25-yard line. Up the hash mark is Darius Mouton, and he will return it out for the North Shore Mustangs, and they will set up shop, 1st and 10 at the 27, we'll call it. And Micah Thomas leads the offense, and you see him across the top of your screen here, back out onto the field to start the second half.
Yeah, Thomas had a big drive on that opening series as he broke out with a pair of 15-yard runs, a 20-yard run, also another 16-yard run. But after that initial drive, he's been bottled up, and so is the rest of the Mustang offensive crew.
From the pistol, fake the handoff. No, he gives it to Pendleton. And again, we've seen that little mix-up on the exchange. The mesh point hasn't been clean, and dropped for a 1-yard loss back to the 26 is Pendleton.
Well, you see good defensive penetration by the interior of that Port Arthur Memorial defensive front. They've made some good adjustments. They're getting some good push from the inside. Oliver and Romar controlling the middle.
Shotgun formation. Motion this time back toward the line from De Leon. Play fake. Now pressure up the middle, and Thomas has to get rid of it, and he just barely does. He was definitely throwing that one away. No flags on the play. Got it back to the line of scrimmage, and I guess by the officials' determination was outside the tackle box.
Yeah, skeptical call at best that time. But he was able to get the ball past the line of scrimmage, so the officials give him the benefit of the doubt, but North Shore facing a 3rd and 11.
Big play early in the third quarter here. Thomas sends out 3 receivers. Thomas sends out 3 receivers to the left side of the formation. That's the wide side of the field, and he rolls that way after the snap. Still on the move, gonna get the pass off just as he came back to the line of scrimmage. And it is incomplete. Good coverage over there. Levine for Memorial was in the vicinity, and we've got, I think, a flag on the play.
Yeah, and you saw one of the Titans lose his helmet, number 91 that time. One of the defensive linemen, Walter Oliver, lost his hat. And it's going to be a legal forward pass. They say Thomas passed the line of scrimmage, so that's going to be a loss of down. It's going to be 4th down, and it's going to be a 3 and out. Real quick for the Mustangs.
Well, he was definitely very close, and too close to force the official to have to make a call on that, and it goes against North Shore. And as Ken said, they will have to send, you would assume, the punting unit out here, backed up deep in their own end of the field. And now Port Arthur Memorial, Ken, should get excellent starting field position on their first possession of the second half.
Yeah, especially with the Mustangs punting into this wind. It's been pretty consistent around 10 to 12 miles per hour coming out of the south-southeast. So North Shore going into that breeze here to begin the third period. And as you mentioned, Memorial should come up with good field position.
4th down, Estupinan kicks the ball away, or check it, Thomas. And a short kick taken by John Lede, and he's got a lane up the middle. inside the 20, 15, 10, 5 to the end zone. Touchdown, Memorial.
That's going to be a 52-yard punt return, a low line drive kick, and he was able to catch it on the run. Had a big seam up the middle. Last man there was the punter, and he's not going to catch him. And to the house, and just like that, the Memorial Titans have the lead, 9-7.
And we're in danger of picking up a celebration penalty, but they get off the field, and now the extra point attempt to come as special teams hurry out to the line of scrimmage. Snap is down, the kick is on the way, and it is good. And so Port Arthur Memorial has jumped out early here with a 52-yard punt return by John Leday to take a 10-7 lead, 10:47 to go here in the third quarter of play.
Well, we talk about offense, we talk about defense. Now the special teams comes into play here at the beginning of this third period. And Port Arthur Memorial with the first big special teams play of the ball game. And a lot of times in a close game, it can be the special teams. That's the difference. They got the field goal at the end of the first half. Now a special teams touchdown. So the third members of the team, the special teams, making a difference on the far sideline for the Titans.
LSM Football Friday is a production of the Legacy Sports Network. For the best in high school sports broadcasts, log on to www.legacysportsnetwork.com all season long. You can also find us on Twitter as @LegacySportsNet, and also check out our Legacy Sports Network Facebook page as well. 10-7 just underway here in the third quarter. And Port Arthur Memorial, for the first time in this ball game, has a lead in the wind again. As we saw in the first half, blows the ball off the tee. So Estupinian will have to head back, and he will get it ready. And he kicks it away. This one is going to send De Leon and Mouton back to the goal line, a yard deep. Mouton will bring it out, up the hash mark again, has a lane across the 30, 35, 40, one man to beat. He's on the run, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, and he's bumped out of bounds 3 yards from the goal line.
Wow. Well, we've seen two electrifying special teams plays back-to-back. That time out of the end zone, Darius Mouton, he took it 2 yards deep, and he takes it right up the gut, splits the crease, then takes it outside to the left, and then it's a foot race. Good effort down the sideline. He outruns the kicker. Then coming up at the angle was number 6, Martin, the freshman, to knock him out of bounds inside the 5 at the 3. So a 99-yard punt return results in first and goal for the Mustangs, knocking at the door.
That Port Arthur Memorial lead may not last for very long. A call on the defense here to try and hold North Shore at least out of the end zone, and that would be a feather in their cap if they can do it. Two-back set as Pendleton lines up off the left hand of Thomas, and Hunter to his right. Handed off, Pendleton sweeps it to the right side, tries to turn the corner, but the ball comes out, and it is picked up by one of the linemen, it looks like. No, it was Herbert Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter. As you see the end around, and again, great lateral pursuit this time, and you'll watch a big hit right there at putting his hat on the football. Number 20 for the Titans, that's Devin Cockrell, the defensive back, comes up, makes a big hit. Luckily for the Titans, for the Mustangs, they recover, but it's a 2-yard loss, second and goal from the 5.
Man, and a blue star to Herbert Hunter for the heads-up play to pick that one out of midair. That could have been a huge turnover for Port Arthur Memorial, but instead now we've got movement.
Wow.
The whole left side of the offensive line took off, but the ball stayed where it was.
And again, if the Titan defense holds here, you have to give credit to the freshman Cameron Martin on the special teams play, chasing down Mouton, disallowing the touchdown, and forcing North Shore to have to try to earn it. Now they have to earn it from the 10-yard line.
Micah Thomas from the shotgun. Pendleton off his right shoulder, hands it off to him, straight up the gut, still on his feet, works his way down near the 5. We'll call it the 6-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and goal.
And as you mentioned, Lonnie, Thomas just not real fluid on these handoffs and on these zone reads as he's trying to ride the running back into the line of scrimmage, but that's really allowing the Titan defense to pinch down and really shrink the amount of running room for these Mustang athletic players.
Now they're going to go with the direct snap to Pendleton. He starts to his left, but slipped as he tried to cut back, lost his footing, and he will get maybe back to the line of scrimmage, but it's going to be 4th down.
And it's going to be field goal time for the Mustangs as they'll try to tie it up. So a good defensive stand by Port Arthur Memorial. Some shaky offense by North Shore. And now we'll have a 25-yard field goal attempt.
You got to give this round to the Titans defense. Starting from 3 yards out, the field goal attempt is good from 25 yards away, and that will tie it up at 10-10, but Port Arthur Memorial holds the North Shore offense out of the end zone after the huge return. And as Ken mentioned just a minute ago, big kudos on that kickoff return to the freshman Cameron Martin, who saved a touchdown on the return, and it turns out kept North Shore from taking the lead again.
Yeah, so some big special teams plays going on here to begin this 3rd period. Both teams with a couple of big returns, setting up points. We have a 10-10 ball game, 8-12 to go here, 3rd period. And really all the momentum now on the Titan sideline on the far side of the field. And again, this is a Port Arthur Memorial team that defeated North Shore last year 14-7.
Boy, and in a tight game like this with district implications, that's got to just be an important morale boost for Port Arthur Memorial to hold North Shore's offense out of the end zone. Here's a kick, comes down to the 10-yard line, and that is Levine, C.J. Levine, out across the 30 to about the 32-yard line, and that is where Memorial will set up shop. They'll give him the 33, and it'll be 1st and 10 from there.
Yeah, and another nice return by the Titan special teams, and they'll actually mark it out at the 34-yard line. So now we'll see if this Mustang defense can bow up and try to force a turnover or force a 3 and out.
Come to the line of scrimmage. Ricky Fisk, and you see the offensive lineup he's got behind him. He wants to throw on 1st down, has Lede, and it is complete. John Lede with a big reception inside the 40 down at the 38-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down.
28 yards on the pass play, and a great play action that time by Fisk. A perfect throw down the seam. Receiver goes up, makes a great grab, takes the blow, but comes down with the football. 1st down, Titans on the move.
John Lede has offers from Louisiana Tech and North Texas, and there may be some other teams that are going to start looking a little bit closer at this senior. Here's a swing pass out. It's Jacobs, and he makes a move inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line.
Well, he left Jamal. He left Jamal Wiltz stuck in his tracks back at the 35-yard line. The big gain up to the 25, so 2 quick pass plays from Fisk as the Titans nearly inside the red zone.
See the numbers on Fisk this year. Came into this game just shy of 1,000 yards passing, and he has flown past that number tonight here in the first half and at the start of the second half. Now a little bit of confusion as Mayfield can't determine where to go, and there's a whistle before the
play
snap.
Clock violation.
Mayfield was lined up.
Timeout?
Yeah, they did apparently get the timeout, so no flag on the play for delay of game. And with the timeout, 7:10 to go in the third quarter. Tie ball game, 10-10 on a Legacy LSN Football Friday.
Was captured at a local grocery store. This man just took money from his bank that wasn't in his account. Did you catch it? Let's see that again. There, he just got 10 cents back for every $10 or more purchase on his debit card with cashback counts checking from Community Bank. Imagine a bank that actually pays you to use your debit card. Swipe all you can from your bank. Community Bank of Texas. Bank where you live.
Memorial with the football. North Shore led at the half 7-3, but now we're in a 10-10 tie. Here's a fade route to the opposite corner, and Rucker, or check it, that is Labrie. No, it was Darius Rucker, 12. The intended receiver, but overthrown and incomplete.
Well, again, offensive line doing a great job protecting Fisk. That time the pass just sailed on him out of bounds. No chance for Rucker to make an attempt, so it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Fisk brings him right back to the line of scrimmage. Cameron Martin, the freshman, in the backfield, off the left shoulder of his senior quarterback, Ricky Fisk.
Got man-to-man coverage on all 3 receivers to the top of the screen.
Wants to throw, same route as the previous play. Leday this time makes the catch for a touchdown.
And Leday may have gotten away with a little push off. You see the defensive back on that far side, a little bit upset. Let's take a look at it. Again, we mentioned man-to-man coverage on the outside on all 3 receivers. Fisk, just a 3-step drop, fade pattern, and just a little bit of a push off for the touchdown to get some separation. So the Titans get away with one there.
And the extra point up and good. And so now Memorial has again marched down the field and put a touchdown on the board. And they lead 17-10 with 6:58 to go here in the third quarter of play.
Well, the Titans have all the momentum right now, and they are fired up on that far sideline as they have the lead over one of the top teams in the state of Texas. Again, you'll see the play one more time.
Ernest Thomas on the coverage that time. He got a little bump in the back there. And he reacted a little bit out of frustration as Memorial takes a touchdown lead, 17-10 now. We've already had 21, or check it, 17 points scored here in the third quarter of play. Had 10 in the entire first half. We're not even halfway through the third quarter yet.
Offense is trying to get cranked up, at least on the Memorial side at least. North Shore still having some difficulties getting on track.
Darius Mouton the last time had a great kickoff return, about 98 yards. This time it's going to go in the direction of De Leon. He will bobble but pick it up 1 yard deep. Now he tries to find a lane, but he's going to be smothered, slips away, and now he does have a lane. Blocker in front and a flag on the backside of the play. The ball comes out.
Oh, my goodness. I think the Titans have recovered.
And they have.
Wow.
And Memorial is going to take this possession because I believe that penalty on the backside of the play is going to be an illegal block on North Shore.
Coming up with the recovery was Corey James for the Titans. as De Leon trying to make a big play happen. Here's the call. It's going to be illegal block in the back against North Shore, so another big special teams play for Port Arthur Memorial, and they'll have it 1st and 10 at the 28. You'll see De Leon in all kinds of trouble. Does a heck of a job just to get out of it. Had some open field back here to the near sideline, but he'll take a hit up here near the 30-yard line, get stripped of the football, and Johnny on the spot for the recovery.
Fisk on 1st down, flushed out of the pocket, takes off with it, heads inside the 20 and out of bounds at the 14-yard line. That'll be good enough for a 1st down. Boy, what a turn of events this would be if Port Arthur Memorial can turn this into points real quick here.
Yeah, and Fisk again. This time he pulls it down. You see him dangerous with his legs as well as his arm. 15 yards on the carry.
Mark it at the 13, 1st and 10. Hand it off, Martin up the middle, and he will get a yard down to about the 12. Not much there as the middle of that defensive front for the Mustangs wraps him up and drops him after a short gain.
That fumble kickoff by De Leon, the first turnover of the ball game.
North Shore has been very good through 5 games. They've only had 4 turnovers. They've forced 18. 2nd down and 9. Play fake on the zone read. Fisk keeps it, and he slides forward down near the 10-yard line. A short gain again. They're going to call it the 11, so give him another yard. It'll be 3rd and 8 now.
This is a big defensive play for the North Shore defense. If they can hold the Titans to a field goal, they'll feel like a victory. As we go under 5.5 minutes, 3rd quarter. 21-5A showdown, 2 undefeated squads going head-to-head.
Left side of the field is the wide side. 3 receivers out that way. Fisk looks that way, throws to the corner, and overthrows the intended receiver. And that was Jacobs headed for the corner of the end zone, but he could not connect, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now that time you saw North Shore in a zone defensive coverage over on the left side. Trips receivers, fade to the end zone. Defender right in front of the receiver forces the high throw, and the Titans will have to try for 3 more.
28-yard attempt for Estupinian, and snap is high, but it's down. But the field goal is missed. No good, wide to the right. So North Shore's defense picks up some kudos as they tighten up and keep Memorial out of the end zone here with just over 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
That's a huge defensive stand for North Shore, as you just felt all the momentum that was on the far sideline dissipate somewhat with that missed chip shot of a field goal. So still a 1-possession game. Port Arthur Memorial with a 17-10 lead, 5:07 to go here, 3rd period.
They will move the ball out to the 20-yard line since the field goal attempt was inside the 20. 1st and 10 from that spot for the Mustangs. Thomas sends De Leon in motion on the sweep action and keeps it himself on the zone read. Up the middle, has a hole into the 2nd level and into the secondary. He's out across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
So Thomas finally able to get unleashed. Picks up 23 yards on the zone read. That time he made a quick, decisive move, kept it himself. Takes it up the middle for a big gain on a 1st down.
That's the play that he's had the most success running the ball tonight on. They come to the line of scrimmage at the 43-yard line in the pistol formation. Pendleton lined up behind him. And here on the delay, he'll keep it himself again. Spins away from a tackler, but hanging on for dear life. And coming up off the bottom of the stack that time for Memorial is number 35.
That was Darius Hampton coming up to make the stop. Devin Cockrell came up with a big hit at the end of that play as well.
So it'll be second down. We'll call it about 5 to go as he's at the 48-yard line. Brings him back to the line of scrimmage. Pendleton on the jet sweep action. Fake the handoff to him. Thomas bounces off a would-be tackler, slides it to the outside, and he's going to have first down yardage inside the 45 down to the 44.
Yeah, good second effort that time by Thomas to avoid the loss. Move the chains as he'll pick up inside the 45-yard line to the 44.
17-10. Port Arthur Memorial with a 7-point lead. Clock rolling. Actually stopped out on the out-of-bounds play. 4:07 to go in the third quarter. Handed off on the sweep to Houston.
Good
Houston
block.
turns a corner.
2 good blocks on the outside.
He's down to the 37-yard line.
A.B. Bradley making one good block on the outside to help him turn the corner. Picks up 7.
So it'll be second and short. Yards have been tough to come by up the middle for both these teams. But if you're able to slide it to the outside, these guys have found some lanes. Here's Thomas on the keeper. And again, a little mix-up it looked like on the exchange. And he's still going to manage to get very close to the sticks. It'll be third down and less than a yard to go.
Yeah, it looked like Thomas had a crease that time, tripped up as he crossed the 35-yard line. He'll be close to the first down, maybe just a little short. It's going to be 3rd and inches, no measurement.
Yeah, guys, that was great communication by the officials there. I think they got the call right.
Third down. We'll call it a yard, but now we've got a whistle from the back judge.
I think Coach Amon wants a measurement. We'll see.
He does.
I think he just wants a free timeout so he can talk to his team.
Yeah, that's a smart move, though. Smart move.
Right.
It's close enough. That way you can decide what you want to do here on third down.
Coach Amon does not like the fact that that official has gone over and talked to the the Memorial coach a lot tonight. And he doesn't like that communication. He wants to feel a part of it too.
Hey, Jay, looks like the breeze has somewhat died down on the field. What's the vantage point right now with North Shore going into that wind?
Yeah, now it's just kind of gusty from, occasionally. Not quite the strong winds constantly. Still the gusts are there, though. But they're unpredictable, so you don't really know when, you can use them to your advantage and not.
Yeah, because this could be a game that comes down to a late field goal attempt.
You're right. Got to have all 3 phases. Special teams is one of them.
Well, and as Jay just mentioned, David Amon basically just bought himself a free timeout and used it to send a play out. But here it is, a handoff to Pendleton. He will pick up the first down inside the 35 all the way down to about the 32-yard line. Needed less than a yard, and he got about 3.
A good decision that time by Thomas to hand the ball off quickly as the Titan defense sold out as they all attacked Thomas in the backfield. And that allowed Pendleton to squirt through, pick up the first down, the chains move.
1st and 10. And now movement, and
it's going to be another pre-snap penalty against the Mustangs. And this has to be driving Coach Amon crazy.
Well, we talked in the first half about the number of penalties that Port Arthur Memorial has committed this year, and they did continue that trend in the first half. In 5 games for North Shore, they've amassed 291 penalty yards, just a little less than 60 per game. So both these teams can work up some penalty yardage. Here's a fake and a keeper up the middle. Thomas slips an arm tackle, and he's headed to the corner and into the end zone. Touchdown.
Well, all he needs, Lonnie, is just a little crease. And he made a perfect read that time on the zone read. And once Micah Thomas gets to the second level, you're not going to catch him. Got a good block inside. And once he gets to the corner, he's taking it to the house. 36 yards for the score.
And you see David Amon on the sideline. Perhaps a little bit happier now.
Well, he'll be extremely happy if they can get the extra point here to tie this ball game up.
Well, Broderick Matthews was slow to get up after that play, and he is headed off the field under his own steam.
Well, this is a huge extra point into the breeze. The breeze has picked up.
Perez, the kicker, out of the hold of De Leon. The low snap, but the kick is away, and it is good. And with 2:49 to go in the third quarter of play, we're all tied up. 17-17. Hang on to your hats. It's going to be a good one here in the fourth on an LSN Football Friday.
So, where are you living now, Will?
Where am I living? The only place I can afford.
Here it is, just like you left it.
Okay, I was smart enough to notice that this totally loaded daily double is now on the McDonald's extra value menu. Only paid $1.99. So hey, I can handle this. I got this great kind of loft space.
No way, cool.
Check out McDonald's extra value menu and find the big taste of the daily double for just $1.99. Just one of the great extra value menu tastes. The simple joy of being smart.
High and short kickoff as we come back to Galena Park ISD Stadium.
Oh, boy.
C.J. Levine trying to reverse his field. Just lost his traction, and he goes down. And he gets up, but those are the kind of, when you see a return man fall down like that without anybody around him, sometimes you get a little concerned about the knee.
Yeah, you have to hold your breath. North Shore with a nice bounce back possession on that last drive. 7 plays, 80 yards, took 3:16 off the clock. 36-yard touchdown run by Micah Thomas. Extra point is good. We're tied at 17, 2:43 to go here in the third period.
There was an offside penalty against North Shore on the kickoff, and Memorial says let's have him do it again.
Well, sometimes you can get those gunners winded if they have to run another 60-yard sprint. May allow for a big return.
And I'm sure Coach Harrison is thinking, well, if my return guy hadn't fallen down too, that last one might have been a little bit bigger even without the penalty. But now Tamez tries to get it set up, and he's done so twice. The wind has blown it over a couple of times. This is, by the way, homecoming for North Shore. Big halftime festivities here at the stadium where they crown their homecoming king and queen. And here's the return by James Jenkins, and this time he carries it up across the 30 and the 35 out to the 37-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Memorial.
So the net result of that penalty is about 16 yards. That would have began at the 21. Now it's out to the 37, so good field position for Port Arthur Memorial as we are deadlocked at 17, 2:36 to go in the third period.
Fisk and company out to the line of scrimmage. Check out the defense. 2 receivers out to either side of the formation as they set up on first down. Fisk wants to throw down the field to his left and had a defender in front of the intended receiver, Jacobs. Pretty good coverage that time. Fortunate maybe that wasn't picked off.
Yeah, he tried to go down the seam to Albert Jacobs, and good defense by Christian Jacobs. So, no relation, I don't think.
2nd and 10 at the 37.
You're a good law firm, Jacobs and Jacobs. In case you get in any trouble on the field, all those guys up.
3 receivers out to the left side of the formation. Ball on the right hash mark. Low snap. Fisk wants to throw. Has time. Has a man. It's complete. And that is Brandon Leday, John's brother. They're twins. They're seniors. 185-pound receivers. And Brandon Leday makes the catch across midfield and gets a first down.
Well, Leday, he just finds a little crease in the middle of that zone defense by North Shore. They've gone away from the man-to-man, and Leday finds a little crease. Good strong throw by Fisk. 14 yards on the catch and throw. First down.
Leday will split out to the left side of the formation. That's the short side of the field. He's the lone receiver to that side. Jacobs, Rucker, and John Leday out the other way. Here's a pitch to Cameron Martin. The freshman takes it inside the 50 down to about the 47-yard line. Give him 2 yards on the carry. Yards have been tough on the ground tonight both ways, and especially for Port Arthur Memorial against this North Shore defense.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we've seen the option from Fisk. A toss back to the freshman, talented freshman tailback. Cameron Martin, but only able to pick up 2.
2nd and 8 at the 47-yard line. Fisk looks to the sidelines. Gets the play call delivered into him. Checks the defense. 3 receivers to the left side. Swing a pass out that way. It's Jacobs. Makes the catch, but he's hit in the backfield. Good swarming defense that time by North Shore. You're going to drop him for a yard loss, and it'll be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, he made a move to get past Whitley, but Christian Jacobs was there to clean up the mess. He drops him back to 48. No gain. 3rd and 8.
Clock rolls. We're down to the 45-second mark here in the 3rd quarter in a tie ball game.
North Shore with 6 defensive backs in the ball game on this 3rd and long.
Jacobs shows motion left to right. Fisk wants to throw. Pressure coming. He's flushed out of the pocket, still on the move. Sets up, throws downfield, has a man, it's complete. And that is Leday. No, check it. Jacobs again. Albert Jacobs makes a catch, and he's down at the 20-yard line. And that will move the chains.
Well, good job that time. As you see, Fisk under pressure, gets away, scrambles to his right. Receiver does a great job helping his quarterback coming back to the football. Makes a big play, 28 yards on the pass play. First down, Titans.
Barely managed that time to get away from the pressure applied by Damon Washington, a 6'3 senior. And that's going to bring an end to the 3rd quarter of play. So this one is setting up for a big finish here. All tied up, 17 apiece on an LSN Football Friday.
We welcome you to North Shore Marine. We support a large parts and accessories for Johnson, Evinrude, Yamaha, and Suzuki. And we also have parts for your boat, not only just the motor. So you can come in and get pretty much everything you need and be on your way. So you name it, we got it. We sell Sea Arc aluminum boats, a wide variety we try to keep in stock so we can accommodate just about anybody. We service Johnson, Evinrude, Yamaha, and Suzuki. We have a master technician in our staff, and he's highly accredited. Well, of course, we're a family-oriented business. We try to keep it on that level. We're concerned for the well-being of our customers. Come visit us at North Shore Marine.
Short timeout in between quarters, and as we come back, let's look at the play that just happened on the field. Almost a disaster for Port Arthur Memorial. As you see the ball come out of the hands of Ricky Fisk, the quarterback, and one of his offensive linemen right there to save a big turnover.
It's a 13-yard loss, though.
Here's a pass, almost picked off, but it is caught.
Wow, what a grab.
Oh, Albert Jacobs has Fisk threaded the needle right there.
Well, my grandmother couldn't have threaded a needle any better than that. Wow.
Guys, this field tonight is just littered with D1 athletes. Wow. It is fun to watch.
Some people licking their chops over that too. Here's Fisk on the roll. Wants to throw. Has a receiver, and it is out of bounds. Lede made the catch, but the officials say he did not keep the feet in bounds. That was right down there by you, Jay.
Yeah, it looked pretty good to me too, actually. I don't know what else to say. I thought his foot was in.
The officials call it incomplete, so it's going to be 4th down, and it's going to be field goal time once again for Port Arthur Memorial in a 17-17 tie. And again, they're going into this wind gust. It's going to be about a 39-yard attempt.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very difficult field goal to make here.
He was short on one going the other direction in the 3rd period.
Estupinian out of the hold of Labrie. The kick is on the way. It's
just wide right.
Looked like it had enough leg, though, but it did not stay true and slices to the right, and North Shore celebrates as they come off the field. They made a nice defensive stand.
You know, I stand here where that play was made on this field. You know, if you kind of kick it up, you see those beads kick up, those black beads. And over here against the white line here, you can see where he was in bounds and those beads came and hit the white line. I mean, I'm just saying, just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it looked like, from up top, looked like he may have had 1 foot in as well. But
yeah.
Of course, we're a little bit farther away than you guys down on the field.
But, you know, the official was right on top of it, and that's all you can ask. He had a great position and was looking right at it.
1st and 10 for North Shore. Handed off, jet sweep. It's Tristan Houston. Flag comes in, and Houston will get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard to the 23, but let's see what this penalty is going to be about.
That's going to be a block in the back on DeLeon. Out on the edge over here.
This game has had a lot of ebb and flow to it. North Shore had the early 7-zip lead, and the Titans able to cut it to 7-3 just before halftime. And Port Arthur Memorial with a couple of big plays out of the gate actually took a 17-10 lead before Micah Thomas with a 36-yard touchdown run midway through the 3rd period. And that's where we are right now, 17-17 tie here in the 4th.
So back them up from the spot of the foul on that play. They send it back to the 13-yard line, and there's a whistle and back-to-back penalties. This is going to move North Shore back even further.
Yeah, Tyler Moore, the center, big 77, just jumped. There was absolutely no reason to do that, but he jumped before he snapped the ball, and it's another penalty, like you said.
So now they've made the task quite large. It's still 1st down, so they've got plays to get there, but they need 28 yards as they're back at their own 8 and need to get out to about the 36. Here's an inside handoff on the delay. Give it to Pendleton, and he is out near the sticks as he gets all the way out to the 30-yard line.
That little wraparound draw is such a good play, and if you only run it once or twice a game, it is extremely effective, especially when you have an athletic quarterback. The defense has to respect the fact that they could roll out to that other side.
Picked up 26 yards. So now we'll call it 2nd and 2. 1st and 28 down to 2nd and 2. Thomas, handoff up the middle. Pendleton again, and he's going to have the first down out to the 42-yard line. Give him a gain of 12 on the play.
And now North Shore's starting to soften up the middle of that Titan defense once again. A couple of big running plays right up the gut and another first down.
They come right back to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers out to the right side. And on the zone read, Thomas keeps it. He's going to be tripped up in the open field. Good open field tackle by Jalen Barnes, but he picks up another first down as he gains 11 on the play.
So 3 consecutive runs, 22 yards, 12 and 11. A couple of first downs. And as you mentioned, they were facing a 1st and 28 back inside their own 10-yard line just 3 plays ago. That's how explosive this Mustang offense can be when they're on track.
9:20 and counting here in the 4th and final quarter, possibly the final quarter. Here's Thomas on the keeper again. Cuts away from a blocker, gets hit as he goes to the sideline, and a flag's going to come in as Jalen Martin lowered the shoulder on him as he was going out of bounds, and this may tack on another 15. And it will.
Well, Thomas was still fighting for yardage on that far sideline. Let's take a look. As he makes a move, we'll see if the hit was late. And, oh, yeah, he lit him up on the far sideline. Jalen Barnes, well-deserved 15-yard penalty, and that's going to move it deep inside Titan territory. So both teams hurting themselves with mistakes here in the second half.
Down to the 24-yard line, they move the football. 1st and 10 for North Shore from that spot. The fans below us cheering on the homestanding Mustangs, trying to break this 17-17 tie.
Great crowd out here for both teams tonight. Port Arthur traveled very well from the Golden Triangle.
Here's a play fake to Pendleton, and Thomas on the keeper is going to be dropped in the backfield. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. We'll call it a yard loss. 2nd and 11 to come.
Yeah, good job that time by the interior lineman for Port Arthur Memorial. As the defensive ends pinched down. Thomas did not make a good read that time. Tried to turn it upfield. Suffers a 1-yard loss.
2nd and 11. 2 receivers to the left, single to the right. Now he comes in motion. It's Tristan Houston. Handed to him on the jet sweep. Has blockers ahead of him. Turns the corner inside the 20, out of bounds at the 19-yard line. That'll be a 6-yard gain. It'll get them down to a 3rd and 5.
Great job on the outside by Herbert Hunter with the block. As you look at Houston's yards on the season, averaging 18 yards a carry, 8 touchdowns on the season.
At the 19-yard line now. Big 3rd down play on this possession. Memorial now has to be thinking, try to hold to a field goal here. Houston shows motion. Fake the give to him this time on the zone read. Thomas keeps it, and he will be wrapped up. Gets back to the 19. Maybe they'll give him the 18. Either way, it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, great job that time by the Titan defense, making the stop. Darius Hampton, good job on the backside to take away the end-around jet sweep option from Houston by the left defensive end. That forced Thomas to keep it. And now it looks like North Shore is going to go for it here inside their own 20.
They will, and they will empty out the backfield. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Thomas to throw on 4th down. Intercepted. Picked off by Levine, and he might have been better off letting that one hit the turf, but it will be a turnover and a 1st down for Port Arthur Memorial.
Well, we saw that last week. Great play by Levine as he had a tackle eligible wide open to the right, but Levine with the interception, they mark him down at the 1-yard line. So if nothing else, that's a big break for the North Shore defense, as Port Arthur Memorial will be 99 yards away from pay dirt. But a big-time turnover and a big gamble by Coach Amon, and he rose snake eyes.
Well, I tell you what, I think the bigger gamble would have been going for a field goal there. They have zero confidence in their kicking game. That's not really surprising. You know, Coach Amon normally does it. He normally has a great team, but special teams is kind of the sticky point for the Mustangs. And as a defensive back, you have got to knock that ball down. That's what you're taught to do every day. You've got to know the down and distance situation.
Down and distance right now for Memorial is 1st and 10 from their own 1, and Fisk wants to throw out of his own end zone, and flag comes in from the backside. The coverage was tight, but I think we're going to get an interference here or maybe a defensive hold.
I don't even know if that football was catchable. It was so far behind the receiver. I don't like that call.
Ken, I agree with you.
Let's watch it again. I mean, this ball is 5 yards behind the receiver. I just didn't see a penalty there.
There's the law firm of Jacobs and Jacobs again on top of each other, and Christian is called for the penalty on Albert. So
a huge break for Memorial. Get out from the shadows of their own goalposts.
Really is a huge break. And here is Fisk, flagged down on the play as he's flushed out of the pocket. They may give some of this yardage right back, as that's in the vicinity of offensive holding, and that is the preliminary signal.
So a decision for Coach Amon now. Does he want to back him up half the distance, or does he want to take the second down play? I'd go ahead and back him up. And we'll see what his decision is. Well, not real descriptive from the referee.
Well, I think must be something in the air here. It sounds like he's having microphone problems.
He's the replacement high school officials tonight.
It moves them back just outside the 7-yard line. Still first down, and they need to get out to the 25, so we'll call it first. And on the board, they've got 17 to go. Here's Fisk on the zone read, runs to the left. He's going to be wrapped up after about a yard gain. And Ronzel Jones gets over there, along with some help from Isaiah Freeman.
We start to approach the 7-minute mark. Port Arthur Memorial with 2 timeouts. Mustangs of North Shore with 3. 2nd and long now for Port Arthur Memorial.
Well, this is getting to be gut check time for both these teams, and we're going to see. They come down to who finishes first. There's a throw over the middle. Rucker makes the catch, and he slips the tackle, and he will go to the house. Roderick Rucker for the touchdown.
"91 yards on the pass play as Ricky Fisk, the senior quarterback. He saw the blitz, read it perfectly. His receiver bit his defensive back one-on-one, broke a tackle, and he's gone. Wow, what a game changer.
Memorial back on top, 23-17. The extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And now we've got a flag. Offside going to be the call, and I think that's going to be on North Shore, so it will be declined. The extra point is good, and our score now is Port Arthur Memorial 24, North Shore 17 on an LSN Football Friday.
Hi, welcome to Raising Cane's. You know Cane's is all about one love. It's chicken fingers that are always fresh, never ever frozen. A friendly crew, a fun atmosphere, and a perfect chicken finger meal every time. That is one love. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
The blitz come up. And both of the outside backers came in on the quarterback. Whitley couldn't get there, and Rucker does the damage to the house. 91 yards, and Port Arthur Memorial back on top. 6:38 to go in this ball game, Lonnie, and we have a barn burner here at Galena Park ISD.
5th receiving touchdown of the season for Roderick Rucker, and it's going to be a huge one. 6.5, a little more than that to go here in the 4th quarter. And now the ball is back in North Shore's court to try and answer to get it back to even.
So we've seen a special teams and offensive explosion here in the second half after a 7-3 first half.
Kick going to come down at the goal line to De Leon. He will return it to his left, has a lane outside the 30, 40, 50, still on his feet, and he's going to go.
Wow!
Kevion De Leon. And check it, is that, yeah, that was number 2, De Leon. Watch him here.
98 yards. Let's check out the blocking. He's going to get a great one right there, and he's gone to the house. De Leon, 98 yards the other way after a 91-yard touchdown reception by Rucker.
It's just a matter of great athletes making amazing plays.
Well, as the kids say, it is on and popping at Galena Park. Wow.
The extra point is good. And just to refresh your memories, folks, let's get a glimpse again of the standings here in District 21 5A so you can see what the winner of this one is going to take away. Well, watch it one more time here as De Leon looked like he wanted initially to start off and head to his right, but saw that the lane was going to open up down the left side, and he took off that way.
Yeah, he got a great block from Wilkes. There's another great block up front, and there's a good block there. Looked like Roderick Morrison got a good block for him as well. So tremendous special team efforts by the Mustangs as they tie this ball game up. 6:23 to go. Whew, buckle your seatbelts, folks.
Well, you said it, 7-3 at the half. We were talking about the defenses here coming into the second half, but these here in the 3rd and 4th quarter are more like the offenses we expected to see. There's a bobble on the kick return by Levine, but he picks it up, got a clean hop, and he'll return it out to about the 19. A flag comes in late at the back end of the play. Levine took a big hit at the end of that run back. And we've got a timeout on the field. See it again.
Yeah,
it just
hit off his shoulder pads or his face mask. And then he takes a big hit. You see Ronzel Jones playing without his helmet. Both of these teams selling out right now.
Hey, Lonnie, are we going to keep it right here?
Yeah.
I tell you what, y'all mind if I ask Coach Weldon Willig a couple of questions? He's down here with me, and
yeah, let's talk to Weldon Willig, former coach at the Woodlands.
He's had some pretty good teams too. Coach Willig, you've had some pretty good teams in the past. How did these teams kind of stack up against the ones you've had, you think?
Well, I think they certainly have enough skill and speed. We may have run the ball a little more power attack than these do, a little more finesse, going to spread you out, get you spread out all over the field. But a heck of a game, isn't it?
It is amazing. Great athletes. You had some great athletes also, though. I've been wanting to ask you this all night long. This new spread punt, well, what do you think about that, Coach?
I'm not a fan, but that's I may be old-fashioned. I just think there's too many problems with it, or what I've seen. So,
what are the main problems you think?
Well, I just don't think you you get enough people, enough coverage downfield. Traditional, your gunners and keep them in the lanes and cover the lanes and all. I don't know if you can do it from that.
Now let's talk about why you're here. You and Coach Amon are pretty good buddies, right? Even though y'all played a fairly big game against each other, right?
Yeah, we planned on that one a long time, or talked about it a long time, and then it came to pass, and it was a great day for David, but it was a great day for us getting that far and playing in the state championship game. But he and I were friends long before that, and have remained to this day, and we do lots of things together. So he's been after me. He said, "Where have you been?" And I said, "Well, I've got a grandson playing, and I got to travel." But anyway, I made it over here tonight, and it's a heck of a game.
Appreciate the time, Coach.
Thank you much. Appreciate you.
Guys.
All right, Jay, good to hear from Weldon Willig. Let's take a look at what we've got coming up in the weeks ahead. Next week, another 21 5A shootout. Deer Park and LaPorte. There's no love lost between those two teams. Then we head over to the Berry Center for a 17 5A shootout, Cy-Fair and Cy Ranch, and then back down to Pearland, where we were last week for Dawson. We'll get to see the other Pearland ISD team, Pearland Oilers against the Manville Mavericks. And here on 1st and 10 is a throw intended for Brandon Leday, thrown behind him. It's incomplete.
He had an open receiver that time, just off target was Fisk for one of the few times tonight. So it'll be 2nd down 10. And man, if we have some big plays in this second half.
Stops the clock with 6:13 to go here in the fourth quarter. All tied up at 24. Fisk waits on the snap. Pressure up the middle. He tries to avoid it, and he does. Stays on his feet, and he's going to turn it into plus yards out across the 35 to the 37, maybe the 38. Winds up picking up about 5 on the play.
Yeah, good coverage in the secondary once again for North Shore. As they're playing man-to-man on the outside, playing zone underneath. Fish tries to take off up the middle. Good open field tackle by Ryans. Limit him to a 5-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 5, 3rd and 6 actually.
From the 37, and now we got a timeout on the field. It's going to be called for by Memorial.
Well, we got a break. We'll kind of recap what's gone on here in the second half, and we'll look at the standings here. You'll see both of these teams undefeated on the season as well as in district play. Also, LaPorte at the top of the standings as well. So this is a huge ball game here tonight.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, if North Shore comes away with the win, of course, they join LaPorte, who's off tonight, and Memorial would drop to 2-1 just behind them. Memorial, on the other hand, if they could pull out a win on the road here, just has LaPorte left to play coming up in the last week of the season, and they would hold a big advantage.
A couple of 21 updates, 21 5A. Deer Park 51, Westbrook 21, Channelview 14, Sterling 7.
Thank you, Jay.
Fisk sends Rucker in motion. Now he wants to throw across the middle, has a man, and it's complete to Roderick Rucker. He hangs on at the 49-yard line, and that'll be good enough for a 1st down.
And again, Fisk beats the blitz. You see Whitley coming through along with his buddies, but a great grab near midfield once again by Rucker. He's had a tremendous night. A big-time 1st down, keeps the chains moving.
From the 49-yard line, just on their own side of the field, the Titans come to the line of scrimmage, and there's some movement before the snap. Fingers pointing in both directions here. But I believe this is going to set Memorial back 5 yards. But there is a little bit of a discussion here.
If the defense was in the neutral zone first, it'll be against North Shore, but we'll see. It's going to go the other way against Memorial.
So back them up 5 yards to the 44. 1st and 15. .5:13 to go in this ball game. Reset the play clock. It starts to roll, and so does the game clock. Fisk takes the snap, swing pass out to his slot receiver. That's Albert Jacobs, makes the catch. He's going to find his way back near the 49-yard line. Let's call it the 48. Give him 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, just a little simple screen pass. Good job by the defense to sprint to make it a minimal gain. 2nd down 11. 4:44 and counting. 24-24 tie.
Show motion this time as Lede comes left to right. And now pressure up the middle on Fisk. He tried to duck under it and slipped. He'll fall at the 43-yard line. That's going to wind up being a 5-yard loss, and now it'll bring up 3rd and 16.
Yeah, look at the top of your screen coming through. Number 48, Isaiah Freeman, the 6'2", 220-pound junior. He's able to burst the gap, 5-yard sack. Now 3rd and long once again for Ricky Fisk and this Titan offense.
Another big 3rd down play in this ball game. Here comes the full court press and slipping underneath to Rucker. He avoids the first tackler, gets across midfield. He's going to be inside the 45 to the 44. That's a nice gain, but it's still going to be 4th down. We'll call it about 4th and 3.
And what it does give him a good opportunity now to go for it here on 4th and 3 with the down and distance only being 3 yards. So now decision time for Coach Harrison. Does he want to punt it away, try to pin North Shore down deep, or will he leave it in the hands of his senior quarterback, Ricky Fisk? Biggest play of the ball game coming up right now, 4th and 3 at the Mustang 44.
Little over 3 minutes to go in this one, all tied up at 24, and they are going to go for it.
Man-to-man coverage on the outside.
Fisk steps up, pressured, going to run, and he's going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. And the ball will go over on downs to North Shore as the defense stacks him up and turns it over.
Yeah, the big hit on that far side, trying to make out that number. It looks like it was number 8. That would be Tim Broughton, the senior defensive back, coming up. And he makes the big hit at the 47-yard line, and the Mustang defense comes up big.
So now, with 2:48 to go in this ball game, in regulation time, it's 24-24, North Shore is going to take a shot.
And they have all 3 timeouts remaining.
Here's Pendleton up the middle. Bounces away, keeps his footing, and gets down to the 40-yard line, and that's going to move the chains, a 13-yard pickup. Given the 39-yard line, 1st and 10 as the clock starts up again after they reset the sticks. 2.5 minutes to go. Thomas on the handoff again, up the gut. It's Pendleton again. And he's just barreling his way forward for big yardage as they're going to just try and power this one, it looks like, down the field.
Yeah, Pendleton coming to tonight's ball game averaging 7.5 yards per carry, 280 yards on the season. He has 8 touchdowns, and he's been the go-to guy on these first 2 plays after the turnover on downs.
Roll under 2 minutes to go in this one. Handed off, Pendleton again. No, check it. That is not Pendleton. Let's get the number. It's Justin Green, a sophomore running back who checked in and gets a big gain for another 1st down.
Yeah, another 14-yard explosion right through the middle of the Titan defense. Finally dragged down in the secondary by Dante Lovelett. But now the Mustangs inside the red zone as we go under 1:40.
Yeah, right here you want to take your time, but you don't want to take too much time because you don't want to have to try to kick a field goal. You'd much rather punch it in.
Then they're going to let the clock run all the way down, then take a timeout with 1 second to go on the play clock. So 3 big runs by North Shore sets them up 2nd and 1. Minute 23 to go in the ball game on the Legacy Sports Network.
Nestled in the comfort of the Texas Gulf Coast, Deer Park, Texas continues to prove while the birthplace of Texas is on everyone's mind. Voted best affordable suburb by the Bloomberg Business Week, Deer Park is home to many businesses and continues to grow in population and industry. With its close proximity to the Houston Ship Channel, Deer Park is home to many industrial leaders like Dow and Shell. Voted in the top 10 most affordable places to live by CNN Money, Deer Park lures many new residents year-round. These residents enjoy the comforts of many retail outlets, recreational locations, and historic sites like the Battleship Texas and San Jacinto Monument. And with a recognized school district that boasts award-winning athletic, culinary, and journalism programs, Deer Park continues to gain the attention of people nationwide. Come see what everyone's talking about and make your next visit to Texas a rebirthing experience in the birthplace of Texas. Don't worry, boots and jeans are optional. Work, stay, play, explore. That's Deer Park, Texas, uniquely.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line, 1:23 to go in regulation time, and a handoff. Pendleton takes the carry, slipped away from the first hit, stayed on his feet, and he is tripped up at about the 12-yard line. Give him about 3 on the carry.
Now on the other side, Port Arthur Memorial only has 1 timeout to work with, so they really don't have an opportunity to stop the clock more than once to try to preserve some time on the other side.
James Jenkins made a great open field tackle to prevent that one from becoming a real big gainer. And we're going to get a timeout on the field. And Memorial just used that last timeout that they had.
And now they're down to 0 timeouts.
Yeah, I don't think PA Memorial is worried about getting the ball back. I think they're worried about keeping them outside of the 10-yard line. They feel like defensively they have a chance to either block it or North Shore is going to miss it.
Now the good thing for North Shore is they do have that breeze at their back, and right now it's in a gust mode where it's probably at its peak around that 10 to 12 miles per hour range. You think so, Jay?
Yeah, it's going to be tough, though, because that wind is blowing at their back slightly, but it's also going from right to left. So he's going to have to aim really far right if it ends up being a field goal attempt.
And of course, they can settle all that by getting into the end zone.
That's right.
Tight end lines up tight to the right side. 2 receivers out that way as well. Houston is alone on the left side. Here's Thomas on the read up the middle, and he gets to the goal line. No signal yet, just outside the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal from there.
Great call. That was a terrific call, and I think that's good for North Shore because now they can really drain that clock all the way down as deep as they want to before they punch it in.
You see Thomas just short of the goal line. Good call.
It was a good call, but Tyler Moore, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, Michael Thomas with the quick snap. Didn't waste any time. Zone read. He walks it into the end zone, and North Shore comes back from down 7 as they potentially will go up 7 with 29 seconds to go here with the extra point.
They weren't listening to Jay very much at all. They did not milk that clock. They kicked the extra point, and it is good. And now with 29 seconds remaining, does Port Arthur Memorial have a miracle?
Well,
I don't know if y'all can see down here, this sideline for North Shore is jam-packed full of alumni, and I think that one of the most famous of all time is coming over here right now, Bobby Reed. Of course, y'all should remember him. Bobby, if you just look up there, man, how do you think this team stacks up against some of the ones you had?
Which team? The one.
This North Shore team, how does it stack up against the one that won the state championship?
I mean, it's up there, but, they still got to go get the goal. So, I'm still, really opinionated about my team.
I don't blame you. There was a book written about you, everything.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of them.
How often do you come back to these games?
Try to make it as much as I can. I only come when the good games, like that.
Thanks for the time, Bobby.
No problem, man. I appreciate it.
He came the right night tonight, that's for sure. Here's the kickoff. Tamez going to kick it to the 5-yard line, and it is taken by Jenkins, and he gets out across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. Good coverage that time by the special teams unit for North Shore. And so with 22 seconds to go, it's basically 1st and 78 for Memorial.
You'll see the prevent defense. You cannot let anyone get behind you at all. No timeouts for the Titans as they find themselves down by 7.
And Memorial again has no timeouts, so they've got to work the sidelines. Here's pressure up the middle, and a flag comes in. That's going to stop the clock, but dropped in the backfield. Wrapped up by big number 88. That's Damon Washington. It's Fisk. Now let's see what the penalty's about.
It's going to be holding against Memorial, so they'll decline the penalty. Clock will start on the ready. So the Titans have to be ready to go when the officials blow the whistle and the clock is running.
Down to 15 seconds. The loss was back to the 13-yard line. That's really a moot point. They need 87 right now.
Yeah,
here's
not gonna run
Fisk.
for 87. That's going to be the ball game.
And the clock will wind down as there are no timeouts and no time left on the clock, and North Shore survives the fourth quarter, and they come away with a home win to move to 2-0 in the district.
A big-time comeback by the Mustangs here in the fourth quarter.
Let's go down to Jay. He's got the star of the hour, Micah Thomas, alongside down there on the sideline. We'll check in with Jay in just a moment. But a big win for North Shore tonight. And a really great battle tonight.
Test. Okay, there we go. Now joined by Micah Thomas. Boy, you did it all tonight. Amazing second half performance. What did your coach tell you at halftime?
Just keep executing. Just keep doing what we were taught to do, what we practiced for 2 weeks. And that's what we did. We just came out here the second half, and we didn't make any mental mistakes. That's what the whole first half was, a bunch of mental mistakes. Second half, we came out here and executed, and that's what got us the W.
Just a few minutes left in the ball game. Talk about the leadership and the drive there at the end to score.
We weren't losing. We're on a mission. That's all. We're on a mission. We are not taking any losses.
Thanks for the time. I'm going to let you get back to the shaking of the hands before me and you get in trouble.
All right, Jay, thanks a lot. Glad we got a minute there with Micah Thomas. Great performance tonight, and his counterpart as well, Ricky Fisk, equally as impressive. A 31-24 win tonight on the home turf for the North Shore Mustangs. We'll come back in just a moment and put a wrap on it here on an LSN Football Friday.
So, where are you living now, Will?
Where am I living? The only place I can afford.
Here it is, just like you left it.
Okay, I was smart enough to notice that this totally loaded daily double is now on the McDonald's extra value menu. Only paid $1.99. So hey, I can handle this. I got this great condo loft space.
No way. Cool.
Check out McDonald's Extra Value Menu and find the big taste of the Daily Double for just $1.99. Just one of the great Extra Value Menu tastes. The simple joy of being smart.
Back at Galena Park ISD Stadium, putting the wraps on a win tonight for the home team. The North Shore Mustangs come away 31-24 winners over the Port Arthur Memorial Titans. And Ken Moore, man, we couldn't have asked for a better game. It was all it was cracked up to be.
Absolutely. We saw some great defense in the first half, and then in the second half, the special teams and the offense finally got on track. Port Arthur Memorial able to come back, actually took a 24-17 lead late in the fourth quarter, but Micah Thomas able to come through with some big plays to lead North Shore back as they win it tonight here at 31-24.
And we heard him talking to Jay Darnell, but he said they were not going to lose tonight, and he showed it on that final play that got him down to the 1 yard line and then pushed it over for the touchdown at the end.
Yeah, great individual effort by Thomas tonight. He really got it going in that fourth quarter. He was really bottled up between the second and third periods, but the first quarter was outstanding, the fourth quarter was outstanding, and the Mustangs remain undefeated here in 21-5A.
And with that win, they stay at the top of the District 21-5A standings. LaPorte is off tonight, so they will stay at 2-0. North Shore joins them at 2-0. Port Arthur Memorial just a half game behind now with their first district loss of the season. Still going to be a great battle here in this district. We'll be back in 21-5A next week as Deer Park travels to LaPorte. We'll get to see the third team in this three-team race in 21-5A. Until then, we say so long. Thanks for joining us on an LSN Football Friday.